On this instalment of Everything I Own Is Broken, do you like where I parked my Morris? Jag. Let's go and get the big girl started and moved onto the hoist. Get these one head off and fix it and drive it. Made some room, got that clear. This thing's sick. The only thing that would make this AU better would be a big penis drawn on the side. But anyway, righto, let's get this Jag started and get her repaired. Who thinks it's going to start? Well, even with blown head gaskets, it's still not too bad. So let's see what she's going to do. Hello. Hey. Why are people so unkind? There she is. Hello, beautiful girl. Righto. I'm going to, if you've got a Jag and you've got some of those lenses for the pillars, I need 2, please. See, missing one there as well. It's about the only thing I couldn't find in on my whole Jag collection. Alright, I'm going to put this down because a cold cammed chev doesn't like me. Righto, for you guys that have just arrived, what we're playing with is Series 1 Jaguar. Was an XJ6, now 350 chev, aluminium heads, converter, turbo 700. Yeah, it was a quick tidy up that we done a while back. I've dailied it for quite a while. She's pretty tidy inside, but for some reason when we put the heads on, the driver's side one blew nearly straight away because of faulty head gasket. When he done that head gasket again, instead of pulling that one and just replacing it, he didn't, and now I have water in the rear cylinder. So I've got to pull the top end off. The reason I'm doing it on the hoist is because where on the lock-up converter, there's wires that come out of the gearbox. The O-ring seems to have failed, so I've got to be able to drop the exhaust, which I've got to do anyway, to get to the pan, drop the pan so I can get the O-ring, do the O-ring in the box so it doesn't leak fluid anymore. But other than that, it's all pretty straightforward. So now that this is in here, I can work nights over here, work during the day in the truck and work nights here to get this sorted because my daughter needs it for her graduation next month, beginning of next month. So yeah, that's simple. Let's get into it. I think one of the worst parts of a head gasket going is the oil mixing. Like, yeah, it just means I've got to clean all that, which drives me crazy. Got the aircon disconnected, manifold off obviously, carby, got to clean all that crap out. And yeah, I'll probably drop the oil tonight and I'll let it drain overnight, get this exhaust undone and these plugs out, and I might just pull the pin at that for the night. And yeah, tomorrow I've got Brisbane to go pick up the Subaru wheel, and I'm going to go down to Phil's Rotaries to look for some rust repair panels, and he makes a lot of new panels apparently for RX3s and 808s to start putting all that sort of stuff aside for that project. So yeah, a couple more bolts, I might go home. Okay, so I got the cylinder head off. The problem is in this cylinder at the back, you can see how that one there's rusty because it's had water in it. And look at that, the cylinder head is actually eaten away here. I'm going to clean it up and see what I can do, but it's actually eaten there. Yeah, really badly. So, I'll strip this off though and yeah, see if it is that, but I don't know. Anyway, at least we have a reason and you can see where it's blown and we'll go from there. Looks like it started to blow on the second one in as well, but I'll have a look. Righto, let's clean it up and see what it's doing. Oh, I've been working away in the yard today, just moving wrecks and stripping wheels and stuff like that, stuff that pays the bills. But I got this little Triumph in this week, just come in as part of, there's a couple of big old trucks and stuff there as well that I actually want. So I thought I might have a play with it, just so I can move it rather than trying to forklift it everywhere. So I just got the bastard, I put a bit of fuel in the tank, and then I tried to put some fuel down these breathers and stuff. Didn't really help. Oh, alright. We might take that cleaner off and see what's in there. What do you reckon? Rather than just try and start it. Oh, that's a bit hard to take that off, but let's have a look in there. Oh no, it might be alright. Let's just give it a bit of, we'll go in the breather here. Was there a hose on there before? Yeah, that hose was there. So we'll just put some of that in there. That's not really going to do much, to be completely. We'll spray it in there as well. I'll put that breather pipe back on. I don't know, to be honest. This thing's mint inside. I wish that my Mini was this good, but let's see what's got there. I might get a better jump pack. No, I don't think it's going to run. I think I'll have to check the spark and do it properly. It's a bit annoying, isn't it? But anyway, I'll show you it anyway. Little Triumph, whatever it is, 250 thing, 2,500. But look at the interior in it. Like, it's so nice. Like, it's mint. Mate, if this is going to be here for a week or so, like, someone surely will want this. If someone wants an entry-level thing, you know, like, it's not that rusty, this will run. Like, I have no doubt that this will run. It's an automatic, you know, surely some chick would love this thing. But yeah, so someone, yeah, get in touch with me, because I do not want to scrap this car. Like, I do not want to. But sometimes, when they sit here for 6 months and you try and almost give them away and no one wants them, there's nothing else I can do, and I do not want to do that. Alright, I'll check for spark. I'll just quickly have a bit more of a play, clean the points, and see if I can get it to run, because it would be good if I can move it around. Righto, here we are again, the Jag. Okay, it's been a big day, just finished work. It's about 7 o'clock. And, okay, so I got the cylinder heads back. So what happened is, that one's gonna be all right, but I'll start at the start. The day we first tried to start this car, when we got it going, right, hit the key, the earths weren't good enough, and it actually burnt out the original shifter, the neutral safety switch to it, and the reverse switch to the shifter, because it was looking for an earth, so the earth wasn't good. And then, obviously, I didn't do the wiring, and the earth wasn't made better. So what's happened is electrolysis has happened. So there was electricity in the water in the cooling system of the car, and that is what ate away at the cylinder head. So the electricity, as you can imagine, came up to the cylinder head and started going at it and ate it away, which then got into the side of the cylinder wall, into the side here. See, electrolysis would have been happening here or here, and it's just, yeah. So it'll be fine. Next problem is that fluid there leaking. So I've got to pull the exhaust off on the other side and drop the exhaust so I can drop the pan to the auto. But it's now Friday. Next Friday night this has to be running and driving and working for my daughter's formal. So tonight I'm going to work back, at least get the heads on, get the manifold on, and then tomorrow I'll sort the auto on that out and hopefully have this driving tomorrow. That's my plan. That's what I'm aiming for. I just found that copper spray stuff for head gasket and some thread sealer. I think I've got just enough there to do the threads so we don't have water coming up and through. So I'm going to get stuck in. Let's get this back together. Yeah, I miss it a bit, to be honest. It is a pretty good car. So alright, let's get this back together. Going along quite well. So I've got my gasket there. I'm just sitting that over to make sure it all lines up. But I've just finished cleaning out all the threads. You've got to make sure you get your bolts, run them all the way through the threads, all the way back out, maybe a bit of CSC on them, all the way down, so they go in and out really well. Because when you go to torque the head down, you don't want any, you want the bolt to freely go in and out. You don't want to lose any torque with the bolt thread binding in the block. If that makes sense? Cool. So now I'm just, there's my head. How good does that look? I'm just cleaning on my threads. So going through, wire brushing, and getting it all cleaned up. I've still got a bit of gunky, gooey stuff happening in the oil situation, but I've let it sit and drain for pretty long. So I'm gonna keep cleaning. It's gonna take me longer to clean all this crap up than what it is to actually put it together. But we're getting there. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good night for Savannah, and at least she gets to use one of my cars for her formal. Because most of my cars, as you know, are rusty pieces of shit. Righto, back to something I know what I'm doing. Me playing with that rotary, but anyway. If you guys didn't see the live stream, started putting the head back on. I obviously haven't filmed any of that because I was live. But I have the head back on, manifolds on, and all torqued down. I soaked I couldn't blow through them because they had gunky oil in them, but they're soaking in degreaser. So I'm going to blow out the push rods. Roller rockers are sitting there all clean and nice. Let's get them on, get them adjusted up, and hopefully I've got to fix that oil leak too. So might get the rocker valve train all together, rocker cover on, aircon compressor done. I'll lift it up in the air, work out what I'm going to do with the exhaust so I can get that pan off the auto. But hopefully tonight I'll have most of it together. So I will drop back in soon and show you where we're up to. But this should be going again very soon. Big night last night. I didn't film a lot because my hands were covered in transmission fluid. So here's where I'm at though. So setting the rockers. Holding V8 you just tighten down, and I come to the realisation that yeah, didn't know how. So rang Paul, talked me through it, so they're all set. I fixed I'll show you when I lift the car up, the O-ring to the lock-up converter stuff was the leak in the auto, so that's done. So I'm just cleaning up the exhaust now. So clean that up, bolt that on, put some plugs in it, drop the distributor in. Actually, I'll set top dead center now, and then put the distributor in, wire up. We should be driving this today. Can't see why not. So I'll show you what I've done with the auto when I lift it up in the air, get the exhaust back on. Kicking ass, we're doing well. We're getting there. So we'll be all set for Friday. So rocker covers on. I've just set top dead center compression stroke, so I'm about to drop the dizzy in, run the leads. Aircon and all that is on. This fought me all the way trying to line up all the bolts for that, but we're there. We're getting there. Kickdowns on, throttle cables on, run some leads, change the oil filter. I'm going to have a bit of a shit show with the oil in this thing because it was so milky, so probably have to get it, drive it for a day, drop it, change it, probably take 2 oil changes before it's right. My phone normally goes nuts, like constantly, but I've got to have this going today for my daughter, and phone's just nice and quiet. It's been great. Yeah, enjoying being here. Like the last 10 years of putting all this together, and this is what it's going to be, and I'm very, very happy. Very happy. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Who else hates putting distributors in? I hate finding top dead center. You know it's right, you find the compression stroke, you got to, you know, you put it in and then you think, oh, is it right? I hate it. But anyway, it's in. As far as I can tell, it's lined up with the lines. It's on there, it's on there. Let's see what it's going to do when we go to start it, I suppose. But I don't know, it's just one of those, it's just that job I don't like doing. I'm sure you guys, exhaust bolts aren't a favourite of mine either. What do you guys hate doing? Which job is it that you just go, ugh? Anyway, just a thought. Stressing doesn't even begin to describe what I'm doing right now. Okay, so it's Wednesday at about 10 o'clock. The formal is on Friday. I've got this thing back together. I worked on it last night, and my mate and his wiring like I turned a blind eye to so much stuff and it's biting me in the ass now. It's all back together, but the wiring is just a freaking dog's breakfast. I'm not a wiring champion at all. Like, I'm terrible at wiring, and I've always just turned a blind eye and let someone else do it. It's something that, I just gotta breathe. I've got to learn, and I've got to learn well and do a good product, especially with what I'm moving towards doing. So this isn't a bad thing, it's just wrong timing. If it was a normal thing or for anyone else, I wouldn't care, but it's for my daughter and she wants this car going. I don't give a shit. I'll just hotwire this thing and launch it, like, if I have to, because I'm confident in what I've put back together with the motor. But yeah, like, this just explains the dodginess and the laziness, right? So this was a 6-cylinder, which means the alternator was on that side, right? But when the V8 come in, the alternator ends up on this side. So where do you run the wiring? Look at that. That's the wiring there, because that's the radiator hose. The wiring's just been cable tied to the radiator hose and back up to that. Instead of running it nicely up and around and doing it really well, just dodgy shit. Like, I spoke to a guy that employed him before he come to me, and I know now why he's ended up here. And he had the same problem. It cost him thousands of dollars with the dodginess and ignorance, and yeah, I wasn't going to speak badly of people, but fuck me. Anyway, I am going to try and rewire this thing. I've spoken to Kingatow Auto Electrics, which is our local auto electrical shop, and they are awesome. They're probably one of the best auto electricians I've ever come across in my life. I'm going to spend an hour on this and try and work it out. If I can't work it out, they're going to sort it out for me. They're busy as, but yeah, they're going to work with me, which is great. As long as this is going for Friday, I don't even care if it only runs for the 2 hours we need it, and then I'll rewire the whole thing. But it's been a good thing for me because my wiring from now on is going to be on point and neat and perfect. It's a lesson learnt. But yeah, moving forward, all these things that he's done are going to make for a better product for Kingatow as I do cars. So yeah, and not rely on other people and be lazy. I'm so stressed. Anyway, let's get into her. Look at that. She's looking clean and she's all happening. Righto, so it was a wire for dodgy wiring that held us up. Kingatow Auto Electrics kicked ass and done that. I can't brought it back here to clean her up. So I've got it loaded up now. We're about to take her home. Formal is tonight. So I'll take you along, I think. Let's go watch the cars at the formal. Should be good. Righto, let's go.